I'm Nancy Harkness. I'm a romance author, and this is Writer Unedited Live. I sit at my writing desk with nothing special. Well, that's not true. I'm wearing something special tonight. Usually I don't. Just my writing clothes. And I talk about whatever's going on in my writing life and sometimes in my personal life and just general stuff, basically. So, I am going to get started. Gail says, I'm all by myself and it's 4 p.m. here. What time is it here? 7. So you're on the West Coast. I guess I knew that. By the way, if you miss a previous live, you can always find it on my YouTube channel, and I will put the link in the comments below. Yes, I say that every time. You think I would remember. So, Gail, this is going to be the shortest live on record if you don't type some questions in for me to answer. I'll explain why it's going to be short in a minute. But first, so last week I showed you the first vase of daffodils that I cut from my own garden. This is the second vase of daffodils that I cut from my own garden. And these are these cute little ones that are, there's like a whole bunch of them on one stem. Of course, I can't remember what they're called because I planted them, I don't know, probably 4 years ago. But they just make me happy, so I thought they'd make you happy too. And I have also something else that amused me. Aren't they adorable, Gail? They're such cute little daffodils. They smell good too. They have like this spicy daffodil scent that's delightful. So I've been planting daffodil bulbs ever since I moved in here in 2019. Yes, 2019. I plant over 100 bulbs a year. Because daffodils make me happy. And I walked out my front door the other day, yesterday, I think it was, and looked around and said, I actually think I have enough daffodils now, which is a miracle because I would have told you I could never have enough daffodils, but they're everywhere in my front yard. I don't have, maybe I could put some more in my backyard. I don't have as many back there, but I'm also still working on the landscaping in back, so I don't want to plant bulbs that are just going to get ripped up again. But I really did look around and say, I think they're enough. Now, then I amended it slightly and said, except there are a few holes that I need to fill in where I either planted bulbs and some critter got them, or I just missed a couple of spaces, basically. So this fall, I'm going to fill in the holes, of which I think that will take about 20 bulbs, no more, 20 bulbs, and then I'm going to be done. I swear to God, I'm going to be done. Cross my heart, at least in the front yard. Done in the front yard, right? Okay, so that's a qualified done. Gail, are you going to type some questions in for me? Because otherwise I'm not going to have a whole lot to talk about. So, why am I wearing this tiara? And why is my brain so fried that I can't think of anything to talk to on this live? It's because I finished Raoul's book. Yay! I finished it. I typed the end. I'm so excited. And it's done. It's done. It's done. So, except it's not quite done. But let me tell you why I'm wearing this particular tiara, because as you know, I have quite a wardrobe of tiaras. This one has a dragon on it. I'm sure you can see the dragon, right? Can you see the dragon? Right? I like the dragon. And he's even sort of blue and green, which is the color of Kalavan dragons. And I thought I would and I'm also wearing a dragon claw ring. This is the ring that Raoul wears in his book, except instead of a ruby on the claw, it's an emerald, because the Kalavan dragons are green. But is that a cool ring? I love that ring. So I've been wearing that in tribute to Raoul. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Elke, my wonderful reader friend Elke, who sent me this postcard back in 2021, which is where I started writing the Kaleva series. I was writing Gabrielle's book. And she sent this from the Jersey Zoo, which is, off the coast of England. And she said, I'm sending this to you because I know you love dragons. And I looked at this, and because I was creating a whole new country, I thought, I do love dragons. Why can't I put dragons in my country of Kaleva that are this color, essentially? I love the color. But of course, my dragons, Kalavan dragons, have great big frills, and Kalavan dragons are huge, like the size of Komodo dragons. Although the Kalavan dragons are vegetarians, whereas the Komodo dragons eat meat, because we like our Kalavan dragons to be nice dragons, right? So thank you, Elke, for inspiring me to put dragons in my book. At long last, I got to have dragons in my book. They aren't the kind that fly or that you can ride, because, of course, I loved Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern when I was younger, where they get to ride their dragons. But still, you know, non-flying dragons are still a good thing. And they're very prominent in Raoul's book. The Kalavan dragon, there's a Kalavan dragon who plays a major role in Raoul's book, interestingly enough. All right, Gail says, that's the first question, the tiara. Second, yay for Raoul's book. Thank you. Keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. So I always include an epilogue in my books, as you know. I feel like that's a gift to the reader, because as a reader, I love epilogues. I like getting to see the characters a little farther on in their relationship, and often my epilogues are proposals. This one is no exception, so that's not really a big surprise to tell you that. It's in a really off-the-wall location, though. So, Gail, since you're here and you're asking the questions, should I tell you what the location of the epilogue is, or would you rather be surprised? I will decide based entirely on your answer. But one thing I did realize, one thing I can tell you about the epilogue is I realized there was one more short scene that I really wanted to include, but it wouldn't fit in the epilogue because of the location. So I am going to write a bonus second epilogue that will only be for newsletter subscribers. It's not going to be long. It's just a short scene. But it will just be for my newsletter subscribers, because I love you guys so much. So make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter. So Gail says, no, I want to be surprised. Okay, my lips are sealed. I won't tell you. And then the other thing I need to write is the wedding, Gabrielle and Quinn's wedding, from their point of view. The wedding is in this book, in Raoul's book. But of course, it's seen from Raoul's point of view. And I figured you guys would want to see it from the bride and groom's point of view, right? I'm assuming I'm correct in that assumption. I know as a reader, I would want to see it that way. So I will also be, I'm just reading my notes here. I will also be doing that and sending it to newsletter subscribers only. So again, you guys get gifts because you are my favorite people. And now I am deep into revisions. So here's an actual page showing all the notes that I'm doing to revise. It's mentally draining, but it's kind of fun because I'm just constantly deep in the book. It's a little hard on my eyes because, you know, I edit on paper because I just find I do better editing on paper. But then I have to type all my corrections in on the computer, and that can take a while, and that's a lot of staring at the computer. I'm starting with the pages that my critique group has already gone over, and they go over them very thoroughly, which is a wonderful thing. So I'm incorporating all the suggestions that they made when they critiqued the pages. We only do 20 pages at a time. So they've only seen, I guess, about half the book. So I always go through and do the first half of the book. They beat it up pretty well. So I'm pretty confident about that. And then once I run out of those, I'm on my own revising, trying to figure out where to make things better, where there might be a problem. And as you can imagine, I'm very close to the story. So it's harder to do it by myself. Which is, of course, why I have a developmental editor, a copy editor, and a proofreader, because they can, they have the perspective to look at, sort of pull away and look at the big picture. So, well, the developmental editor looks at the big picture. So these are the revisions that I'm doing on my own. And then on April 30th, I will send the manuscript to my developmental editor and go away and forget about it for a little while. It takes her usually about 2 weeks to go through the manuscript and figure out what she wants to say about it and, where she sees issues. So during those 2 weeks, I will, I'm not going to lie, I'll be on vacation. I probably won't do any work for 2 weeks, although you never know. But, once I get into the revising process, then I'll start writing the second epilogue, and then I'll start writing the wedding from Gabrielle and Quinn's point of view, both of which will be really fun for me, because those are, they're short pieces. I don't have to have a lot of plot arc. They're just short, fun things that are little bonus gifts for you guys, but also for me as the author, because, I like spending time with my characters. So that will be fun. And what else do I have to say? Well, okay, the usual thing, sale books. So Royal Caleva Luis is on sale on audio for 50% off until the 13th, which is what? Sunday. Sunday is the last day this is on sale for 50% off. So grab this sexy Silver Fox of a King now while you can. And then in the US on Kindle, 2 of the Whisperhorse books are on sale. Take Me Home, which is the first in the Whisperhorse series, and Country Roads, which is the second in the Whisperhorse series. So you can read them in order. It works out very nicely. And they're on sale for, what are they on sale for? $2.49 on Kindle. And then in the UK, you can buy my whole consultant series, The Money Man, The Hacker, and The Agent, for a mere 99p each. So grab those this month. I think they're on sale for the whole month. There's another book on sale this month, but I just got the email about it and I can't remember what it was. And it's only on sale for 8 days or something. It's very weird. Oh, Gail wrote me something. Can't wait to read it. I know Raoul has given you fits, but I know it will be worth it. Can't wait for it and the bonus epilogues. Thank you so much, Gail. You're the person who makes me keep going when I think I can't get the book done. I mean, I'm serious. I thought this book would never end. I don't know why it was such a pain. But in the revisions, I gotta say, I'm liking it. Sometimes struggling makes the book better because it kind of slows you down and makes you really work at it and think about every sentence before you put it on the page. And really dig deep in your character's emotions to make sure you're getting those on the page. And it's interesting, a scene that I just was revising, one of the comments that my critique partners had on it was it was a very action-packed scene and moved right along, but that there wasn't enough emotion. There wasn't enough internalization. We weren't seeing how the characters were reacting to each other inwardly. We could see the outward signs, but we weren't seeing the inward signs. And they were totally right. And so I seeded in, and this was hard, I'm not going to lie. It's hard to crescendo the reaction, so to speak, and the internal thoughts. So I just finished doing that, though. That was this one that I was just holding up. And it's so much stronger as a result. So I am always incredibly grateful to my critique partners for their insights and their, just their perspective on the work. It really helps. So that's it for sale books, and that's pretty much it for me. There will be no live next week at all. Not even rescheduled, because I'm going to be doing Mother of the Bride stuff because my daughter's getting married in October, and so I'm going to be off to a tasting of the food that will be served at the wedding reception, so we can choose the menu for that, and going to eat at the place where the rehearsal dinner will be, and just all kinds of fun stuff like that. It will be so fun. So sadly, I will miss you guys. Don't get into too much trouble while I'm gone, because I know you guys. Okay, so what does Gail say? Thank God you guys write, because I have no clue or imagination. Well, you have the imagination to take what we write and make it a picture in your head. That's imagination. It's, I don't think readers understand how amazing they are. I mean, you take these little black marks on a page and turn them into real people and places in your head. you know, for me, they're already in my head because I dreamed them up. And then I try to turn them into little black marks. You know, I turn them into these little black marks that I hope will conjure them up again in your head. So you've got an imagination too, Gail. You just need to change your thinking a little bit. And then Gail says, fun, choose some good foods. Yeah, I will. You know, the only bummer is I don't get to go to the wedding cake tasting. What is my favorite thing in the world? Wedding cake. And unfortunately, we couldn't organize it so that I got to do wedding cake tasting too. So I'm a little bummed out about that because wedding cake's yummy. That was my one request to my daughter, is that one layer of the cake be classic white wedding cake, because it's my all-time favorite, and you just can't really get it anywhere but at weddings, right? So one layer is going to be the white wedding cake. One layer, I think, is going to be some kind of spice cake. And, of course, one layer is going to be chocolate, which I also totally approve of. Although they're sticking some kind of fruit jam in the middle of the chocolate layers, which I do not approve of, because I know I'm weird, but I hate fruit with my chocolate, except bananas. Chocolate dipped bananas, or bananas dipped in chocolate, to die for, I have to admit. They come in, I don't know if you've heard of edible arrangements, but periodically some nice person sends me an edible arrangement, and I thought that the chocolate covered strawberries would be my favorite, but no, it's the chocolate covered bananas that I love. I know that's strange. It seems like an odd combination. Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm going to officially end this live because honestly, I have to go back to revising. If you want to know the truth, that's what I'm going to do. I've got more pages to revise tonight because I'm on a schedule, because I have a deadline to send it to the editor. Gail, thank you so much for coming. It was a delight to have you here. Gail has more to say. Yay. You're too funny. I like plain cake. That makes me happy. The boy loves going to a bakery that's here that sells lots of wedding cake slices. See you in a couple of weeks. Okay. Yeah. Wedding cake slices? Oh my gosh. I'm so jealous now. I want wedding cake slices. Nobody around here does that. You just get the usual bakery cake stuff. I mean, not that I'm complaining. I like chocolate cake. I even like coconut cake, which a lot of people don't. But wedding cake, you can't get that here. Gail says, we're in Vegas. Oh, now I understand, because there are a lot of weddings in Vegas, right? And they're sort of quick weddings, so they have to have ready-to-eat slices of wedding cake. I kind of love that. All right, well, now I have a reason to go to Vegas, because I'm not a gambler, but I would kind of like to see the Cirque du Soleil stuff in Vegas. I have to admit, that would be fun. Marianne's here. New tulips sprouted today. Summer weather is back. Oh, how lovely. What color are your tulips? Red, yellow, purple, white. I used to have tulips at my other house, but they don't come back. You know, they would last for 2, maybe 3 years, and then they just vanished. And I am the world's laziest gardener. I will plant bulbs once. I will plant lots of daffodil bulbs once. If they don't come back, then I'm done. I'm out of here. I don't, yeah. I'm not that kind of a gardener. But I will say goodbye with my daffodils, my beautiful daffodils in hand. And thank you so much for coming. Loved seeing you guys. Oh, Marianne says her tulips are a pink salmon color. Oh, that sounds gorgeous. Yum. I love that. You'll have to post a picture for me on Facebook, Marianne. I would love to see those. So goodbye from me and my daffodils and the boys, who, of course, refused to come and join me. I did suggest that they might want to come and entertain you, since I didn't have very much to talk about. I thought Skoda, who is very chatty, could come and carry on a conversation with us. He declined. I thought that Moby, who likes to chase his tail and is pretty hilarious when he does it, might come and entertain us. Nope, he refused. So it's just me and my daffodils and you guys. Luckily, we have you guys. So I'm going to say, what was it they used to do? Good night and good luck. Love you guys.